Alrighty.
Of course, like I'm a homer. I'm not going to ignore that.
What do they see in this guy? This guy sucks.
Prepare yourself for the Raptors Report podcast with your hosts, Julian and Steve.
Hello, Raptors fans, and welcome back to the Raptors Report podcast. I am your host, Julian, and with me, as always, co-host Steve, aka Raptors Shack. It is Monday, February the 23rd, and we are here to talk Raptors basketball, fresh off of a win against the Milwaukee Bucks. And we're not going to be talking about the Olympics. We're not going to be talking about the game that happened right before that.
I blacked out after, and I haven't remembered anything since.
We don't need to talk about that. What we need to talk about is the Toronto Raptors. There's a bunch of cool storylines that we're going to be diving into. So I'll give you the menu for today. We're going to be talking about Jakob Poeltl because Jakob Poeltl is back and he is looking pretty good. We will be discussing his most recent game, which I think has been probably one of the most positive developments from a Raptors perspective in a while now. We're also going to be talking about Emmanuel Quickley, another sort of good news story. He is back on track. He's playing well. We'll dive into that. We'll be looking at the upcoming schedule. Then we're going to probably be looking at some bad news. We're going to be looking at RJ Barrett, who has been struggling, talking about maybe why that is, how he's been struggling, all that stuff. Then we'll be talking about Colin Murray Boyles and the defense that this kid is playing is crazy. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about Scotty Barnes. Is he going to be an American Olympian? We'll have to cheer against him. Is he going to be a Jamaican? Then I can cheer for him. And there's going to be other stuff, but we'll save that for later. Steve, how you doing?
I'm great.
How's this fine Monday treating you?
Been good. It was a good weekend. I mean, the Raptors took care of business and some games that they needed to just do exactly that, just take care of business and, roll into Oklahoma City and be hunting a 3-game win streak, which is
they're going to be rolling. Are we rolling into there or are they rolling into here? Let me
maybe they're rolling into here. I honestly, I don't keep too much track of the home and away, but I mean, the Raptors are significantly better playing away, funny enough. So, but yeah. What about you?
Well, I am likewise. I'm very happy that the Toronto Raptors took care of business. Although that Chicago game was no bueno. That was one where I would be, kind of not as proud. Yeah, that one, like the way that the Bulls were able to kind of like chisel their way back into that game. That's not very,
promising
as a Raptors fan. Yeah. Although it did like make me feel good because I was kind of bigging up Jalen Smith. I'm like, maybe I should get this guy. He looked really good in that game. He has been like one of, the best advanced stat guys around. So they kind of made a win-win trade. They traded away Nikola Vucevic for not much, and they got back a guy. They didn't get back a guy. They were able to promote a player who looks like he has potential. So I like that for the Bulls. But yeah, that's not a team that you should be in a dogfight with, even though it is in their building, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah.
Well, the Knicks just went down to the wire with them, right? It probably says more about the Knicks than it does about us. So the Knicks keep having these kind of tight games against these teams that are not so great, but they still kick our ass every time. So I don't know exactly what all that says about us.
The thing is that they're a pretty bad matchup for the Toronto Raptors. Yeah. The Knicks, like, I think that's pretty evident right now. They've got the guys who can, like, they have the wing defenders.
Exactly.
That is the thing about the Toronto Raptors, is that they're very big in the middle, and they have their best players are in the 2-3-4, whatever you consider Scotty and Brandon Ingram. Those guys can be contained by the New York Knicks because they have the wing defenders to do it. OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart. Those guys can really give them problems. And the one problem that they have is that, Cat is a, doo-doo defender. And the Raptors don't really have a way to kind of like their pick and roll. That's how you exploit guys like Karl Anthony Towns. He just doesn't have any game sense in the defensive end. He's just kind of like wandering around, but they don't have a very good pick and roll. Maybe with Pirtle back, they'll look a little bit better. But yeah, it's not a good matchup for the Toronto Raptors.
Yeah.
But, speaking of Pirtle, why don't we hop in to the first point of the day?
Yeah.
We are going to be talking Jakob Pirtle because yesterday's game was like a revelation.
Mm-hmm.
I have been very cagey about him coming back because, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, right? Am I going to fall into the trap of thinking that Jakob Pirtle is going to be healthy and good? You know what? I'm back. He's tricked me again. I think he's going to be good for the rest of the season because he looked really good.
Yeah.
Even in the game. So like I got some flack on Twitter because I post there when the Raptors are playing. And I was like, wow, Pirtle's moving pretty well. He's looking good. And this was against the Bulls.
Yeah.
And somebody showed up in my feed saying like, what the hell are you talking about? He's played 16 minutes. He has 0 rebounds. And so I don't look at the stats when I'm watching the game. I'm just kind of giving vibe. Like I'm going by what I'm seeing on the floor. Yeah. So I'm not counting Jakob Pirtle rebounds. I'm like, is he moving well? How's he doing? How's the defense? What's all that? So he's like, no, he's been, dog crap. What the hell are you talking about? And I was like, listen, man, I think he's moving better. I think he's got his legs under him again.
Yeah.
He can get up and down the floor. He can move his laterally on defense. He's not a stiff anymore.
Yeah.
And this past game, that really showed up, not just visually, but on the stat sheet too. Mm-hmm. So what did you see from Jakob Pirtle?
I mean, just what you're saying, right? Like, that's exactly what I'm looking for too, for a player coming off of injury is like, what's their level of aggression? How fluid can they be? Is he taking contact well? Is he like, and especially last game, he's getting set screens again, really to the benefit of Emmanuel Quickley, which is what, we were, especially you were talking about with Emmanuel Quickley was hold the phone on him, just wait, let him get his center back, let him get some screens, let him get some 2-man game action. And it's looking great, right? So, honestly, I didn't think that this day would come with how grim it was looking with Jakob Pirtle. Like, I was expecting it to be sparse, injured again, out for the season with the way that it seemed to be going. So right now, currently quite happy with the fact that he is able-bodied and, active.
Yeah. Okay. So I have a clip, like this is my favorite clip from the game yesterday. This one was the Gortat screen that he gave to Emmanuel Quickley. And I just want to show it because I think it's a good illustration of what he can do for Emmanuel Quickley. Like this was definitely his most impressive play of the game. So let's see if there's like if we can, okay, playback speed. We'll do it at 50% here. And then we're just going to show it. So Emmanuel Quickley comes up Emmanuel Quickley comes up to engage with the screen. And he gets the dribble handoff, and he feints like he's going to shoot it. So that's the first screen. Then he decides he doesn't like that shot, so he re-engages with the screen. This happens quite a bit, like you use the screen twice. And as you notice, Jakob Pirtle is getting him good. Like, look at this screen right here. This is like a pretty substantial screen. Rollins cannot get around it. He goes under, right? So he goes under. Emmanuel Quickley's like, I'm going to reuse the screen. And look at him. Like those two screens have given, it is a 2-on-1 situation already. 2-on-1 situation against the center. And they've brought in some other players into the pick and roll here. As you can see, they have a guy helping off on the wing, trying to contain the penetration. Kuzma is leaking off of his man too. This is like a picture perfect. Like if you saw this picture, something good is going to happen. Just looking at this, because you have your guard is almost not 2 feet in the paint yet, but he is about to get into the paint. It's a 2-on-1 against the center. So the world is his oyster. And what he does is actually use a third screen. This one is called the Gortat screen. It was used, Marcin Gortat, who played for the Wizards and the Suns. He would do a thing where he learned it with Steve Nash, and then he did it with John Wall as well. But you screen again. You screen the help defender. So watch this, okay? So he screens Turner, and it's wide open layup. So there were 3 screens here. All 3 of them were good. So this screen, he had to go under the screen. The second screen, he gets full separation. He's fully on behind him. And then the third screen is just an easy layup. You're not getting that. No offense to any of the other players on the roster. You are not getting those kinds of screens from anybody else on the roster. That kind of screen. So when you're thinking about Immanuel Quickley, he is a pick and roll guard.
Mm-hmm.
His skill set is designed around utilizing screens in order to create shots for himself. And he used it. Like, there are 2 things going on here. One thing that we always talk about with Immanuel Quickley is that he doesn't have the court mapping to make the high level reads where he is, eyes in the back of his head, Jokic or whatever. He knows the guy is open in the corner or on the wing, and he can easily just pass it to him. That's not Immanuel Quickley. He doesn't have that thing. But when he operates in the screen and roll, like, there is a lot of skill here. There's a ton of skill in using the screen in order to get the separation, the shot fake, the using the screen again, and then snaking the screen, going back around. Like, this is all high level stuff to get that kind of stuff. So if you don't have a player who can just do the things that you need in order to be successful, you're not going to be as good as you are, right? So, or as good as you could be. So that's something that was criminally underrated about Immanuel Quickley, was that he really needed help.
Yeah.
And he was not getting it from the players that were on the roster without Pirtle.
I think that's a fantastic point because, Quickley, the success that he had on the Knicks, right? You got to remember how many minutes he played with somebody like Mitchell Robinson.
Right. And Hartenstein.
Exactly. Right. So he had these guys who could set great picks. And I remember, like, I don't have the exact, but it was like, he was like a plus 6 with Mitchell Robinson in the lineup and something like +8 or something with Isaiah Hartenstein. These big guys who can give him the screens works wonder. And he has the speed to burst around those screens and really make those guys, make the defender make the decision like very quickly. And that's when he's getting that separation. Like him pouncing, like that video there, him pouncing on that Gortat screen was just perfect. He just saw it, boom, right through the lane. Nobody could catch up in time. What's his name? AJ Green.
Yeah.
Could not, like, he was watching RJ, but he couldn't get over to get any help in time.
And he's not big enough to stop it.
Yeah. So
that's the thing about that's another thing about the Bucks is that they are a really good matchup. Like the Raptors are a good matchup against them.
Yeah.
Because they have like centers. They have Bobby Portis and they have what's his name? Turner.
Yeah.
But then they are like super small on the wing. Like they're running Rollins, who's like a point guard at shooting guard. They have AJ Green is playing at small forward. They have Kuzma playing at power forward.
Porter Jr. Cam Thomas.
Cam Thomas.
Yeah.
This is a super small team.
Yeah.
And so the Raptors really took advantage of that by, getting on the offensive glass with Pirtle and CMB, and then also just getting inside over and over and over again. So he was really, really good in that game. There was another one. I'll just show it right now because we're kind of bleeding over. Like we're talking about Pirtle, but we're also talking about Quickley. So maybe we can blend these 2 points together. There was another really good. Hold on, let me just quickly switch the screen here because I have another clip here. This one was another really good. Oops, hold on. Let me just get it in the slow playback speed, 50%. So this was like a really cool play. This is like a dribble handoff, but it was like quite, it was very good, well done by Pirtle and Quickley. So it's like a dribble handoff to Pirtle, And Rollins got completely screwed up there because he thought that Pirtle was going to drive with the ball, I guess.
Yeah.
And he got lost. And Pirtle did a between the legs bounce pass to Quickly, plus a little illegal screen there. So you can see sticks his ass out. You're not allowed to do that. But look at how wide open that shot is. Like, obviously that is partially Rollins just getting like discombobulated there, but that is like just picture perfect. That's the kind of stuff that I really want to see Emmanuel Quickly get more of. Yeah. And I think Pirtle's going to help with that. But I think it's also like the defense as well. I don't have the clips here, but he was moving so much better, even in that Chicago game, being able to cover ground east-west. Like, he's moving quickly again. Like, he's cutting off penetration. He's doing the stuff that he was doing last season. So I think that, if he is injured, it's not as bad as it was early in the season.
Yeah. And they're resting him for the OKC game, which is the right move. Rest him on the first half of a back-to-back. So it seems like they're going to kind of slow play it, which is it's proper. Like, you're in a position where you are going to make the playoffs as long as you don't have a disastrous meltdown here. Just stick around 500 for the rest of the year, and you'll be top 6, right? So it's good to rest him for that, because you will have no chance against the teams that are our potential matchup if you don't have your 7-footer active, right? Like, the teams that will be in the Raptors range will be Philadelphia, the Cavs, the Knicks, right? These are all teams with big centers, right? So you need him to stay healthy. So keep slow playing it, keep getting him back. Minutes restriction, that's all fine. They've proved that they can win without him, but can be a better team with him, right? So it's just great. It's great to see.
If you're playing CMB at center, like that's what you've been doing without him. Yeah. So just do that, play him 25 minutes or whatever, and play CMB the other half of the game. So let's go, because it's like the same thing. We got to talk about Emmanuel. Oh, wait, you know what? Cancel that, because I got some stats.
Yeah, I
have some stats. So on the episode today, if you haven't watched the video, there was a really cool thing that I looked up. So according to Darko, which is not the coach of the Raptors, but there is a statistic called Darko. I think it was named after the not so good Detroit Piston pick, Darko Milicic, who became a bust. But it rates players. It's like a one number plus minus stat, and it rated Jakob Poeltl over 4 seasons, his past 4 seasons, as a 99th percentile defender with a plus 2.5 defensive Darko plus minus. And I don't think he's that good. I'm just going to come out and say it. I don't think he is a 99th percentile defender in the league, but he is good. He is good. And he also is like really good on the defensive glass and offensive glass and all of that kind of stuff. So there is a contingent of fans, and I'm not joking when I say, is they think he sucks. They think he is bad. And if he's injured, I agree with them. Like, he's not good.
Yeah,
the way he was playing earlier.
Yeah, when he was sheepish, couldn't catch anything, couldn't move. It's your back. Like, if anybody's ever hurt their back, I've hurt my back several times. You can't do anything. Like, it is so debilitating. And they'll give him like whatever, one's legal, one's illegal, tramadol or Toradol, but they'll inject him full of that and leave him out there. But there's only so much you can do, right? Like, maybe it's people's expectations that they have of him based on contract, based on Masai Ujiri calling him a top 10 center before, but he's not a bad player. No. And if you hear other teams talk about him, you hear other coaches talk about him, he's highly rated by other teams. Heard Brandon Ingram wanting to come in to play with Jakob Poeltl.
Joe Mazzulla talking him up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good player, and I think he's a little underrated by there's the reason that he's underrated is because of the cost that they paid for him, which was the first round pick. The fact that he kind of sabotaged the Raptors tanking plan that one season, like, he is the figurehead of that.
Yeah, because
he was the last stand of that group that failed, and then the injury, right? So there's a bunch of negative storylines. So it makes sense just from a vibe standpoint. It's like, this guy sucks. Like, why is he playing? But he doesn't suck. If you watch, and also his best season came last year when nobody watched the team. Nobody was watching the games last season because they sucked. I watched all the games last season. I was like, wow, this guy's playing really well. And so, I get it. I understand why people don't rate him, but I do. So, well, let's move on. Emmanuel Quickly is balling.
Yeah.
He was awesome yesterday. I keep saying last night, but it was a matinee game, so I have to break out of that. But he was really good yesterday, 32 points. I know that some people were nervous, like they were talking about like Cam Thomas and how he's going to like rip apart the Raptors and all that and how he's on a hot streak or whatever. Well, Emmanuel Quickly, he's not the greatest defender. He's like mediocre, but he is a problem for other teams. Like he kind of, if his shot is going, you're going to have to stop him. You're going to have to figure out a way to stop him. And he's been just so consistent over the past 10 games. So I've got the numbers here. Over the past 10 games, he's been playing just under 32 minutes. So he's not even playing a ton of minutes. He's averaging 18.5 points, 4.5 rebounds, 5 assists, 1.5 steals, only 1.1 turnover per game on 49% from the field, 45% from three, and 79% from the line. That's incredible. Yeah. That is really good. And obviously the assists are a little low, but he's doing his thing. And as I said on Twitter, I said, listen, he's not really a point guard. Like he's not a true point guard. But what the Raptors need right now, they don't need a point guard per se. They need a guy who can hit threes.
Yeah.
It's staring us in the face.
Yeah.
The team is dead in the water from beyond the arc. They need a guy to make as many threes as they can.
Yeah.
And he's doing that. That's kind of what he has been doing. 45% from three. That is sick.
Beautiful. And like over the last 5, I think he's averaging 20 points per game. He's stepping up in the right times. And I mean, like, what more can you ask from your starting point guard if he's not a top 10 guy in the first place? Like he's not your heliocentric guy that you're counting on 25 points per game for. So 18 points per game is pretty damn good for him. And I said it before that he might be the swing factor of a playoff series for the Raptors in a good or bad direction.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Because
it guaranteed he's the swing factor in a good or bad direction.
Yeah. Right.
Like unless he's hitting his shots, mediocre. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. But if he's hitting his shots, like if he's putting up a 22 with 23, that is really opening up the floor for Ingram and Scotty. Whereas my biggest nightmare here is that you're going to end up against the Knicks or somebody like that who is just going to stymie your two wings, and then where do you go from there, right? So his shot making alone could really give them a chance to swing a series when I don't even have high expectations for winning a series right away. But a guy like Quickly rolling into it hot, and that's still a bit of ways away. There's still 25 games left, but very positive sign, because if that's the kind of energy he can bring into the playoffs, this is a different team. They're always a different team. When he's on, they're such a better team.
They're so much better, and there's some stats to back that up. So if you enjoyed that stat section with Pirtle, I've got some more for you here. So he has, so there's EPM, which is dunks and threes metric website. You can go there and search all the players and rated based on their, effectiveness based on this stat. And in terms of offensive EPM, so in terms of defensive EPM, he's like negative 0.1, which is around, it's like 50th percentile, basically. Like he's right dead even in terms of defense. And I've always said he's not a bad defender. He's like a mediocre defender. Yep. He's in the 92nd percentile in offense with plus 2.5 EPM, which is really good. And part of that, I believe, it's like a plus minus stat, and he's the only guy on the team who can like actually create his own 3-point shot and make it at a high clip. Nobody else really has the guard skills on this team that can do that. So I think he's going to look good in comparison. But even with that said, he is a really important offensive player for the Toronto Raptors. And I guarantee you, just like how Fred VanVleet was like either a hero or the villain for the Toronto Raptors in years past, it's going to be like that for Quickley, because if he's making his 3-point shots in a playoff series, he's going to look like a god.
Yeah.
Because nobody else is going to be able to do it. Spoiler alert. So if he's making those shots, people are going to be like kissing his feet. If he's missing those shots, he's going to look like an asshole.
Yeah, 100%.
Because people are going to be like, this is the guy that we signed to this huge contract, blah, blah, blah. And you know he's going to be taking a ton of shots because he's going to be the guy that is his job.
Yeah.
His job is to take and make a lot of 3-point shots. So he is going to be either the villain or the hero whenever the playoffs roll around. So that'll be pretty interesting to see.
Totally agree. Like even a guy like Maxey, if he has very few bad games, right? But when he has a bad game, he looks insane. He looks like when he's taking like a 35-foot three and he misses and you're like, what is this guy doing? Right. And it's like, but we've experienced it so many times that Maxey, when he's just even half on, is just a god, right?
Deadly.
So yeah, I totally agree with that take, because when you're the guy taking the long threes or taking especially a pull-up three in transition, if it's a make or miss, like, it's the total swing of energy towards that player.
Yeah. And like Emmanuel Quickley, he's not shy. Like that's the one thing that I think I would say, if all of the various parts of the Raptors are working at normal efficiency, like everything is normal, that's good. Okay. Like if he is average, like his career average 38-ish% 3-point shooter on, good volume, you want him to be aggressive and shoot 3-point shots. You don't want him shying away and not taking it. So when you see him pull up in transition and shoot a 3-point shot, you might be kind of like, raising an eyebrow, but at the same time, they've drilled down on the statistics. If you are open and you're a good 3-point shooter, it doesn't matter the context. Like if there's 24 seconds on the shot clock because you just started a fast break, or if there's 1 second left on the shot clock, if your shooter is open, you want them to shoot. So, but I know that is counterintuitive. I know that there are people who are watching who are like, they didn't even get a possession here, right? If you have your point guard run down the floor and take the first shot opportunity and it misses, you're going to hate that because you didn't get to watch basketball. Right? Everybody likes to watch basketball. They really like to watch a possession. Yeah. Maybe one player, there's a bunch of different players touch the ball, you run a play, you do all that sort of stuff. And it seems kind of antithetical to that, to pull up and transition and shoot a 3-point shot. But I'm telling you right now, those are good shots, and we just have to they
need it though. Exactly, because they have nobody putting up that kind of volume, especially pull-up threes. Like there are teams with multiple guys taking over 3 pull-up threes a game, and I think Quickley is our highest with like 2.5. And Raptors will lose the math game every time if it's a 3-point contest. So they need to get those shots up when they can, and like Quickley's the guy for that. Like, do you remember the Celtics last year? Like, as you were saying, that people want to watch basketball, the outrage that people had over the Celtics, because all they did was just spam threes. They were like, we're going to miss a shit ton, but enough are going to go in that it doesn't matter. The Raptors can't do that. The Raptors
math ball.
Yeah. The Raptors can't just math ball it. They need the 1 or 2 guys who can actually hit shots to math ball it.
Exactly. You like, the thing is that, okay, it's not pretty when he pulls up in transition and misses a 3. Think about all of the possessions in the half court that the Toronto Raptors have had this year, where it ends up with like Jamal Shed shooting a 3-point shot because he's open and nobody else is, or Grady Dick shooting a 3-point shot because, they still believe that he can shoot the shot.
Yeah, and there's been ones where they don't even get a shot off because they're all passing it too much, right? You need a guy who's got, like, that's what Ingram has been so great for, is a guy who has the stones to take the shot, right? And like somebody brought up a good point here, like sometimes Quickley shots are too soon, and they don't result in an offensive rebound, but you can't like count on that for your 3-point shooting always. But yeah, there's a times when it's like, oh, that shot was a bad shot because nobody was in there to get a rebound when he misses. But
Yeah,
like
that is a
OG,
good point.
but he's not shooting to miss, right? But he has a slow release,
Yeah.
right? So he kind of has to take it a step sooner typically anyway. Like he's
Mhm.
not like, I don't know who's got the quickest release. Like even AJ
Curry.
Green's got a Curry, right? He can just pull that quickly, needs some time and space. He really gets his legs into it and everything. So he kind of has to take it soon sometimes. You just have to live with that. Like it's just the way it is. He's your guy who shoots.
Exactly. And yes, I mean, like they make a good point. When you shoot in transition, there's nobody under the rim to grab the rebound. With that said, shot quality is important. Obviously, you have to bake in the offensive rebounding chance into that, but I still think it's an okay shot. I think we've mined this section. I think that Emmanuel Quickley has been definitely one of the more surprising players. Definitely a player that has, silenced a lot of his critics. Like he was the whipping boy. He was the scapegoat on the Toronto Raptors for a good portion of the season. Like, oh my God, who is this guy? Why is he on my team? Why did we give him such a big contract?
Yeah.
Don't hear that much these days. So good for him. What you do hear these days is the next point. RJ Barrett, one of, at the beginning of the season until the injury, he was one of the success stories.
Yep.
He was one of the guys where everybody was like, wow, I can't believe it. And you hear on like the generalist podcasts, the podcasts from other teams, they're like slowly coming around to the fact that, hey, RJ Barrett is no longer like this kind of negative black hole player that he was on the Knicks, didn't know a good shot from a bad shot, blah, blah, blah. His game had really matured and he looked like a new player that was hunting good shots, taking what the defense gave him, playing his role in the offense, making good reads, playing in the fast break. Even his defense, got a little marginally better. Wow. Since his coming back from injury, he has been horrible. And, it's hard to like, same thing with Pirtle, like how we're like, let's take it slow. Let's not judge this guy. RJ Barrett suffered like a knee sprain, which is like a very serious condition. Like he had to get like an injection, a platelet injection into his knee because it wasn't healing properly. And now he's back and he's playing. I'm sure there's some discomfort there, some tenderness and all that kind of stuff. He probably doesn't feel like he can go up too strong, but hopefully he gets right soon because his numbers are not looking so hot. So let me read those off to you. Past 10 games. So he's been back for 10 games. So this is the 10 games he's been back. He's averaging under 30 minutes per game. So he was on a minutes restriction for a while there. I don't know if he still is, but he's been playing just under 27 minutes per game. He's averaging 14 and a half points with almost 6 rebounds, about 3.5 assists, almost a steal, and just under 2 turnovers. So that is an issue. The turnovers have gone up. But the real problem here is the efficiency. He's shooting 40% from the field, 28% from 3, and 74% from the line. From the line is actually pretty good.
Yeah, especially for him, right? Like I'll take the 74, whatever, 75. But and his misses are like bad. The layups, the push shots, and they're bad. Like they're like he's hitting front rim.
Threes are just bricks. Like he is missing long, he's missing short. It's going off the side of the rim. His accuracy has gone into the toilet.
Yeah.
And the defense is awful. Like yesterday's game, I almost said it again, last night's game. The game at 3:30 in the afternoon yesterday. There were a lot of possessions where he just got caught standing flat-footed with his man blowing past him. And I note that because he's not the greatest one-on-one defender. Like he's not amazing in terms of playing one-on-one defense, but that wasn't his biggest weakness on defense. His biggest weakness was kind of getting mixed up and not really knowing where to be. Yeah. And that's still there. And now you're sprinkling in these blow bys, like the Bucks are kind of like they've got some explosive guards. They've got some guys that can get into the, like a Porter Jr. is having a good season. Cam Thomas is Cam Thomas. He can kind of score from anywhere if he's on. And Ryan Rollins, he's having a good season as well. But there were so many possessions where his man just caught the ball and went, like attacked his feet. And he got caught standing still on multiple occasions. And that is surprising. Like, I haven't seen him play that poorly defensively. And I think it's just the explosiveness with the knee is not there. And that is an issue.
And I think especially yesterday, you do see a bit of the Scotty effect of him missing, because when you watch them play together, Scotty is trying his best to keep everybody aware of certain things.
Right.
And you lose your defensive quarterback, and that the habits aren't there for RJ in the first place. So immediately
calling out the assignment, calling out the play, telling
you where your guy is gonna go, like step back, I got this guy, blah blah blah, right? Like you
cleaning up the mess too. Like if there is a blow by, Scotty is there to kind of help make that a little less problematic. I totally feel you. Yeah, absolutely. Somebody asks, do you agree that IQ's defense has also gotten better as the season has gone along? Not talking a huge leap. The effort is better on a nightly basis. So Emmanuel Quickley, I think, has gotten a bad rap on the defensive end because most of the time, sixth men are, one-way players. They're guys that are offensively tilted and they don't really play defense.
Yeah.
I don't think he has ever been a truly bad defender. I don't think that he is like a guy that is like a guy you can target.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time, guys who you can target, they're small. Maybe their arms aren't very long. They're weak. They have bad foot speed. None of those things really apply to him.
Yeah.
He has about average size and length for the point guard position, maybe even a little plus.
I think his wingspan is slightly above average, like, not like Donovan Mitchell kind of freak, but yeah, like, and I think obviously the speed, he's strong enough. He's not, he's not like a Trae Young or anything. He doesn't really get picked on. You'd be hard pressed.
And he does, as Trevor has mentioned here, he does put in an effort. Like, this is not a guy who is like taking, like, sometimes his defense is like not great and like he's not giving it all, but
I would say it wavers with energy. I would say it's all energy based because he is giving it all in the offensive zone in the first place, but he's putting a lot of effort. And that's when you see, like, I expect the next stretch of games after this nice little break from the All-Star game to be rather good defensively for him because he's had a good rest, right? You would hope that other players like RJ would have that same kind of boost, but he's, whatever's going on with that. But I think a lot of his wavering, because I think Quickley started off playing some of his best defense at the beginning of the season, dropped a little bit, maybe 10 games in, came back up. I think it's just kind of wavering with schedule, with energy, with if it's a 10 p.m. game, he just seems to be all around an amazing player. Don't know what that's about, but yeah.
Well, I mean, another thing about being mediocre is that some nights you're going to look really good and some nights you're not going to look really good, right? Like sometimes a lot of people think that, being 50-50 means you're going to be mediocre every night. And that's just not how it works, right? Some nights you're going to be bad, some nights you're going to be good. And it averages out to 50th percentile or whatever. And I think that he is, an adequate defender that can't necessarily be schemed against that hard. So that's what I would say about his defense.
Yeah. And I mean, also comparatively to like other teams, they'll have a guard defender that they can help insulate their point guard defense a lot better. The Raptors don't have that in the same way, right? Like their best defenders are, Scotty, Colin Murray Boyles, and then like BI and Jacoby, right? Yeah. Right. So, but like, him doing a decent job defensively in the first place is I think that's already like a higher level than a lot of other guards because like as a point guard you're guarding some of the shiftiest best players like ever, and he doesn't get as many times to pass off that cover as other guys do, right? Where it's like Jalen Brunson is never going to be covering Cade Cunningham, but quickly will have times where he has to, right? Just by the nature of how the Raptors roster is, right? So
and a lot of it is like the scheme that they play.
Mhm.
A lot of the time he will pick up the big because
Mhm.
they have the switch, right? And
Yeah.
and they're comfortable conceding that, because a lot of the time it'll be like CMB or Scotty
Yep.
Barnes switching out onto the guard, and then they'll use the rotations to try and cover for him being attached to the bigger player. But yeah, I think that there's I have not been displeased with his defense this season, and I think that that's a good point about the energy level. I think that it can wax and wane,
Mhm.
and you're going to look good some nights and not as good some other nights. But speaking of really good defenders, we got to talk about this guy, Colin Murray Boyles. Colin Murray Boyles has been unbelievable defensively. I am like, just when I watch this guy's play, and like I'll watch the games back, obviously, because that's what I do. But when you kind of keep your eye on him and watch him for a full possession, like there is something kind of magical going on with that guy.
Yeah,
Like
his brain, man. Yeah.
This guy's special. He is a special defender. And the Raptors have had switchable bigs before. Like Precious Achiuwa was a good perimeter defender. Who else? Like even Jonathan Mobo, he could guard the perimeter pretty well. It usually happens when you have like a smaller, more quick-footed big who can do that kind of thing and man up against smaller guard and wings and guard them out there. But he takes it to like another level. Guards are like getting like their brains scrambled by his foot speed in isolation. So as I mentioned, when they switch the screen, that happens a lot because they love that matchup, CMB against guards and wings. The guard or wing, maybe they don't read the scouting report, or maybe they want to try to score on him. They'll try and attack his feet, and he is so fast on his feet. He will stay right on the guy. And a lot of the time what happens is it's kind of like running into a wall in a cartoon. You run into the wall and you're like stunned and you go backwards. That's what it feels like when the guard tries to attack his foot speed. Then they're like, okay, I can't beat him off the dribble. Time to go to the step back. His ability to close distance and then contest the shot is crazy. He is so fast. Like his hands, like his ability to contest shots on the perimeter. I think it was against the Bulls. He like blocked a shot at the end of the game, but it's always right in their airspace and not giving them even like an inch to get the shot off. Like I love this guy defensively.
Yeah. A guy like him, like he is weirdly sneaky athletic in that way where it's like, he's strong. He's obviously strong. And which is like partially why guards will struggle to beat him, because any of those little push off tactics or anything, they don't really move him. Right. Like if they get the free arm, if they get the elbow up or anything, he doesn't move. Right. But yeah, you don't expect him to be able to close foot speed, to chop his feet, like to run through screens that like he's been able to. And his anticipation is fantastic. Like he's got good hands and he's just hyper aware. Like you've got somebody who is finally on par with like Scotty's defensive IQ.
Yeah.
And them two on the floor together.
Play.
Exactly. And them two on the floor, it's like now they don't have to be thinking for other players. They can just play off each other. It's amazing. It's like you see exactly what the Raptors were going for with the pick in the first place. A two-way guy, right? Who, he's undersized, don't care. They're going for the defensive genius that he is. And I think out of probably any player that is in the league right now, he is the closest to a Draymond comp.
Right. No, absolutely. Even the kind of like overpassing. I know there's a reason for that. Like a lot of people pointed it out when I was like, he's got to take the layups. He can't keep Ben Simmonsing it. And people are like, well, his hand is screwed up. And I was like, yeah, I guess I love complaining, but you've got a good point. But like he is Draymond is a great comp
Mm-hmm.
because he's undersized, but
Mm-hmm.
he's like super strong and really smart and, you know, athletic and, well, like in the similar way athletic, because they're not like super jumpers. Like they
Yeah.
don't have really great vertical ups.
Yeah.
They do have is like an insane wingspan
Mm-hmm.
and like are just like really have good foot speed. So yeah, I totally understand that. And the IQ is definitely there as well. Like the guy is he's so smart on the defensive end, especially.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, of course, I'd be happy with him if he were just kind of like a defensive role player.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see some more stuff on the offensive end.
Yeah.
I want to see like him get some post ups. I want to see what let him cook a little.
Yeah,
I'm not saying, like
exactly.
give him the ball in the perimeter, tell him to do like and one compilation stuff. I just want to see him have a little bit more free reign on the offensive end, especially against a team like the Bucks or against the Bulls. Like just give him the ball and let him size up some guys and see if he can drive on them. Because in college, he was like one of the better drivers. Like he was so agile and quick going to the rim. I want to see if that can translate to the NBA.
Yeah. And they've got a lot of games against like not that Washington is a super easy team or anything, but they've got a lot of games left and I think it'd be great to give him some touches like that because currently most of his touches are just finishing plays, which is fantastic. Right. He's a great rim finisher. And the Raptors always like that, starting the game with finishing a couple plays through their big and like kind of setting up that they're going to run their offense through there so they can space out later. But like it's been nice that he's been finishing it, but I agree. Let him develop his game a little bit, but I'm sure they're going to try to develop.
Oh yeah, it's all
slow,
baby steps right now.
Like Scotty,
I'm
right?
Totally fine with it. I'm talking selfishly. I'm talking like I need to see it. I want to see it, but I get what they're doing. Like I totally understand. It's not like, and now like because I remember somebody asking like, would you take Queen over Colin Murray Boyles? At the beginning, like when Queen was like really going off, and I was like, yeah, I mean, like probably just based on early results, but I mean, anything can change. And now I'm just like, no, I don't want to trade this guy. I don't want to do any, like, of course I'd trade him for like one of the top, like the best players in this year's draft. But even then, like, I think this guy is going to be a stud. I think he's got the juice. He's got the it factor. Mm-hmm. When you watch him play, you're like, I got the same kind of feelings with Scotty. Mm-hmm. And there's one of the reasons that I stuck with Scotty, even through the lean times, was I was like, this guy knows how to play basketball. Mm-hmm. He's big, he's strong. He's just understands the game at a level that not many other people have. And that is definitely what the Raptors are looking for when they get players is find those guys, those really toolsy guys who can think the game. Yeah. And so, I'm just really, really happy with Colin Murray Boyles.
Yeah, same. And like with respect to Queen, I'm exactly with you on that because Queen is shooting terribly from three. Yeah. That's not going to be his game, whatever. It's a good scorer, but I really like two-way players, and I really like the defense that CMB is bringing, and the Raptors really needed more defense like that. So the fit-wise, everybody was concerned about the fit. Seems to be fitting great.
Yeah, and I mean, like, Queen has cooled off quite a bit. Like, he was scoring, like, what was it? Like, it was, like, over 15 points or something. It's still really good for a rookie. Like, he's averaging 12 points in 26 minutes. With 7 rebounds, 4 assists on 49% from the field, 29% from three. And I thought that was his free throw percentage. Yeah, 77% from the free throw line. But if you watch him defensively, he doesn't know what he's doing. Like he's like, if you watched him in college, which I did, like I scouted all the players in that draft class, I was like, I don't really want this guy because he's going to be one of those players. Like, remember when we were talking about Şengün? Yeah. And we were like, oh my God, Şengün is so good. But I was like, but he's one of those centers that doesn't really play defense, but he's good enough that it's like, maybe it's worth it. That's Derek Queen. Yeah. And Şengün has been like, the Rockets fans are calling him out. because he has been kind of not so good recently.
Yeah. Because you have to be actual Jokic level
Right.
to be that player who's, a little slow, little whatever, methodical, but a really very, very talented, and you give up some on defense, but you have to actually be Jokic level to build around that.
To be
right?
for the juice to be worth the squeeze.
Yeah.
People don't get it. Like the center, that is the position just in general is a defensive position. And you have to there's a reason that stereotypes and molds and like the sort of slots and positions, they're not written in stone.
Yeah.
But they're kind of important. Like there is a reason why centers are your defensive player. They're bigger. They stand closer to the rim. They're your last line of defense. And if you're a bad defender at that position, you're going to get carved up. And the Nuggets do get carved up on the inside with Jokic inside. And it is a problem that they've had to build around and fix. But guess what? If Jokic had passable, good defense, he is the best player of all time.
Yeah.
The reason he's not the best player of all time, or is only in the conversations, he's top 10, probably, I would say at this point, I don't know, top 10, is because he is sounds like hyperbole. He is the best offensive player ever.
Yeah.
That sounds like hyperbole, but if you just look at the numbers, just look at all the advanced stats, all that kind of stuff, you literally have to be that good to be a bad defensive center.
Yeah.
It is so important that your center plays defense that you literally have to be the greatest offensive player of all time in order to break out of that formula.
Yeah. It's the reason why the Knicks need a Mitch Robinson next to Cat. It's the reason why the Rockets are a lot worse now that Steven Adams is hurt. They need all this defense around it. And it's Jokic has guys like Eric Gordon and stuff like that around it, right? So, but either way, I'm not missing Queen the way that I've seen some people where they're like, oh, CMB is great, but look
especially
at Queen.
Recently, after kind of his hot start kind of faded a little bit and CMB has kind of popped off. Yeah, it's definitely easier to be on the CMB side of the equation. And I kind of nailed it. I said, I know he's undersized. I know he doesn't have the thing, but I think he's a big. I think this guy is a big in the NBA. I think he's a center ish player. And I compared him to Al Horford, who could play center and all that kind of stuff. Because just watching him play, this guy has that kind of impact on the game from the defensive side of the ball. So, I'll give myself a little.
Oh, yeah, you were right on him. You were hoping that the Raptors would get him. And when his pre-draft measurables came out, he measured essentially the same size as OG Anunoby does now, right? Obviously his body composition is different, right? But I'm okay, I've never once thought OG seems too small.
Yeah.
Even when he's guarding bigs. It's
they used to guard Jokic with OG. Remember that when they matched up, they put OG on Jokic. It worked pretty well.
Because if you're strong enough, you can actually play topside on him and battle with him down low and stuff and just deny ball. And of course, you can make it work.
Team and do all that kind of stuff. What the Raptors do, what they've been doing all season, is that if the matchup is too difficult, they send help. They willingly send help and then try and recover. But he is good enough defensively that you're I can live with that he's undersized against the true giants of the world. And of course, you'd want to have a 7-foot center on your team. It's in some capacity so that you could deal with it a little bit more. But this is not a problem that's going to destroy your franchise is if you have to play Scotty Barnes and CMB at the 4 and 5 for is 60-70% of a game, right? Nobody's going to be able to stop you.
No, exactly. And he'll be in the playoff rotation, which is pretty damn impressive for a rookie. There will be other rookies that are in that. All those top 5 guys, if their teams make it, they will, right? But he'll be one of those top 8, top 9 guys. and I think he'll do well. Like he's very calm, cool. Of course, he's had those. It looks like he's choking by not taking the layup. There wasn't any punishment. Like there wasn't any like real downside from a moment like that. I'm not worried about something like that. I
Yeah.
think he'll be able to come in and play his role exactly as he's asked, and it's super impressive for a rookie to be able to do that.
No, yeah, no doubt. Okay, let us take a look at the upcoming schedule, and then we'll get to some fun stuff. We are going to hold on. Let me just grab this really quickly. But the Toronto Raptors just finished two sort of cream puff games. The one against the Bulls, obviously, the post, big trade Bulls. They are tanking now, probably. Although they're in some games. But those two games are out of the way, and it's back to the grindstone, because they are going to be hosting the Oklahoma City Thunder on Tuesday. So tomorrow, they will be playing the Thunder. Then they'll be playing the Spurs. So that is a pretty nasty 2-game set there, back to back. Oklahoma City, then the Spurs. So probably Jakob Poeltl will be sitting for one of those games. You'd have to assume. Probably sit him against the Thunder, if I had to imagine.
I believe that was the report, is that he's listed as out for tomorrow.
Okay, well, that makes sense. It might even be better, honestly, for them to play small. That's what they did when they beat them the first time around. But I'm guessing that's going to be a loss. And the Spurs, that would be a tough one as well. But after that,
the Thunder won't have Shea, right? So that's a benefit, but they just waxed the Cavs with the team that they had. And Jared McCain, I don't know why they got him for essentially free. I don't know why the Sixers gave up like that. Obviously, there were some cap implications.
He was terrible for the Sixers since coming back. But it seems like they gave up on him a little. Like way too quickly.
And he's been playing great. He's looking back to what he was in his rookie season right now. He's obviously very fits into their culture perfectly, right? And OKC keeps like hitting on these guys by other teams seemingly giving him up, right? So I mean, that'll be an interesting game, but if they play like they did against the Cavs, that'll be a very tough game for the Raptors.
Oh, no doubt. I have the Raptors as a dog in this game. I think that the Thunder, first of all, they beat them the first time. And I think the Thunder are going to try and get some comeuppance here, get some revenge on the Toronto Raptors. And they are a stacked team. They're super, super stacked. And even without the reigning MVP, I think that they might win against the Raptors. So I don't know. I'd say it's a 60-40, maybe even 65-35 game in favor of the Thunder there. Against the Spurs, I think it's pretty similar. The Spurs are, wow. Wemby is a bad matchup for the Toronto Raptors' best player. Scotty Barnes, he did go nuclear in one of the games against Wemby, but that was because he got really hot from three. And he was hitting those threes. Against, if Scotty has a normal shooting night, where he's not hitting his shots, Wemby is just the worst matchup in the entire association against him, because he is the best rim protector in the league. He is so you think you have him beat, and then he comes and just erases your shot. It's not even close. And they've got a lot of weapons on the offensive side of the ball. They're just they are a really, really tough team to beat. And I think that the Raptors again will, be a dog in that matchup. But then they go to Washington and they play the Wizards, who are fully in tank mode. It looks like that they've been in tank mode for most of the season, but the Raptors lost against them anyway the last time they matched up. So I don't think they're going to lose that game again. I think that the Raptors, they were in a bad spot, I think, when they were playing. But let me just take a look quickly at when they lost to the Wizards. Yeah, they were in the they had a 4-game losing streak before that, and they lost to the Boston Celtics right before, and the Brooklyn Nets. Yeah, they were in a really bad place at that point before they rattled off a couple of wins in a row. So I don't get the feeling that they're going to lose to the Wizards. I don't think so. But then they host the Knicks again.
I
And
think
the Knicks just
I'm
seem to
gonna
have the number.
go out on a limb and say they win this next game
Okay.
because they were in it the last game they played them
Mhm.
up until whatever the third quarter, and then they fell apart. A more consistent effort, they can win. They can, and the Knicks have been all over the place, man. They just had a dogfight against the Chicago Bulls. If that is the energy that they have against the Raptors have a chance. And I'm just gonna say Raptors
You
win
got
it.
this one.
Yeah.
Okay. All
We'll
right. So
see.
this is a pretty tough schedule, like the Knicks,
Yeah.
and then they play the Timberwolves in Minnesota. And that was a heartbreaker, that game against the last game against the Timberwolves. They really should have won that one.
Mhm.
So, and I think Minnesota's a bit of a paper tiger. I'm not a huge fan of their team. I know they've got Ant, like he's really good, and
Mhm.
and they've got good defense, and Julius Randle's having a good season. Like they've got some players. Don't get me wrong, but they don't strike me as a team that the Raptors should be like a huge dog against. So I think they could win that one too. So you have the Raptors. What would you say over the next 5 games?
I would say, you know what, over the next 5. Okay, so that includes
Thunder, Spurs, Wizards, Knicks, Wolves.
I'm gonna say they're 3-2, and they're winning Thunder and Knicks and Wizards.
Wow. Okay. I'm gonna be Debbie Downer. I'm gonna say 2-3. They beat the Wizards and they beat the Timberwolves, both on the road. So they continue their road dominance and continue blowing games. Although I don't know if you could consider losing a game to the Thunder, the Spurs, or the Knicks at home blowing a game. Okay, so we just looked at the upcoming schedule. Why don't we get to the fun stuff now? So what do you want to start with?
What are your options?
It's up to you.
I mean, yeah, let's quickly run through the gas that Scotty's had since the All-Star game, because outlets are releasing their predicted Olympic rosters. I don't know if it's just the timing with the Olympics ending that they're going to try to capitalize off that and mention Summer Olympics, but Scotty Barnes has been named on multiple. I think everyone I've seen, including ESPN, including like I don't know, like Hoops Hype, whatever, but all of them had Scotty on there, omitting guys like Mobley and stuff instead, right? So he's got the positive PR in that direction. And if you remember last season, he was not on any of these lists. Raptors fans are going crazy, going, what do you mean he's not going to be on here? Come on, come on, come on. Now we feel like he's getting the his due for that.
Yeah, and like, did you see how he played in the All-Star game? He was playing like just being a role player, basically.
Yeah.
And what I think he would bring to that team is, like, of course, with the Raptors, he is the star player.
Yeah.
He gets the ball a lot. He can make flashy plays. He can score. He can do pretty much everything. But you need guys in the Olympics to be role players. They have to be really good, but you need guys who are going to play off of the on-ball players.
Yeah.
You need guys who are going to play defense, who are going to rebound, who are going to make smart passes, who are going to, fill in the gaps, be the glue that holds the team together.
Yeah.
That Scotty can do that. If you're building the USA roster, like, you don't want one-dimensional players. You don't want guys who are just going to come down the floor and shoot the ball. You don't want guys who are ball hogs. You don't want guys who can't share. You want guys who are, will buy in. Think about all the positive traits about Scotty Barnes. He is adored by his teammates because he keeps it light. He is so positive about other people's success. Like, have you ever seen a star player who is more, like he said when he came to the Raptors, Pascal Siakam, he's my favorite player. I love watching him play. When Brandon Ingram hit the game winner, he's doing the hyping him up. He is like that kind of guy who is going to keep things light, make it easy to play, and keep focused on the game and keep the group a cohesive unit. And then with his play, he's going to be doing all of the stuff, he's going to be playing elite defense, protecting the rim, switching, like helping guys maybe who aren't as good defensively. I think it's just a match made in heaven. Like, this is something that if you are the GM of Team USA, this is a guy who represents a ton of versatility, a guy who you can add to almost any type of lineup. Do you need a guy who can guard the basket, rebound, play in the post, pass the ball, lead your fast break, all of that kind of stuff? It just seems like a very easy guy to add to a roster.
If you remember last Olympics, Devin Booker got a lot of praise for playing a role, right? They were like, he came in and stepped in as a role player. As a role player, Scotty Barnes is a better role player than Devin Booker can be a role player, just based on his defense, based on his, like, the intangibles and stuff that he has, right? Not that he would be like the guy who bumps Devin Booker off the team. That's not what I'm talking about, but he's ready built as that in that way. And if you remember, one of the biggest stories of the U.S. Olympic team was that Tatum almost got no play and Tyrese Haliburton got no play because it's a duplication of skill, right? They've got lead ball handlers, they've got scoring wings, they've got all that. So I don't even think that if Scotty were to make it, that he would be a guy that gets benched. I think he would be a guy that gets used. And if I remember correctly, Steve Kerr's not going to be the coach this time around. I think it's going to be Spoelstra, because I think that was ending. And if you're Eric Spoelstra, one of your favorite players is Bam Adebayo. Maybe he's on the team, maybe he isn't, but you've got one of the closer players to Bam Adebayo that you could use in your coaching strategy. I think it makes so much sense. But maybe the biggest barrier to that is whether or not Scotty's actually even interested in it. Because if you remember, he was putting his name into the hat to play for Team Jamaica because of his parents and his, like, heritage, right? So he might be already saying no. He might not even be available, right? That'd be interesting.
But like, has anyone ever turned the U.S. national team
I
down?
know, right? Because look at what Paolo did, right? Paolo Banchero was like, I'm with Team Italy, and then they were like, we want you on Team USA.
How about Embiid? Embiid's not even, like, from the same continent. Like, he's
he got his citizenship just to play. But that's the thing, is that the Raptors or the Canadian national team needs to naturalize this guy immediately. He already wears Canada jerseys everywhere. We have a big shortage. I was arguing with people today that the Canada will have Zach Edey as our big, and people are laughing at me, and I'm like, it's still an upgrade over Dwight Powell.
I don't get it. Why would you laugh at Zach?
But they're looking at it like, well, he's nothing compared to Chet. It's like, okay, well, it's an upgrade over what they had.
Exactly.
And they were already good with
they were in the round 8 or whatever. The thing is that, like, a lot of the time it's about matchups, and it's about, like, who you have, like, the tools in your tool belt. It's a lot more like the one and done and, like, Olympic kind of, where you're playing a bunch of different kinds of teams. You want to have, and also international basketball. People don't get it. It is different than NBA basketball. There's no 3 in the key. Okay, you can play illegal defense all day.
No basket interference.
No basket interference. One of the biggest strengths, and Canada learned this the hard way when they were qualifying. Like, do you remember the Victoria qualifiers when they were trying to get the last chance qualifier for the Olympics a couple of years ago? Like, when Nick Nurse was coaching the team, they ran into a Croatia. I think it was Croatia.
I think so.
And they had a guy who was 7'3". He never played for the NBA. He was just on their team. It was impossible to score on this guy, because he was just in the paint, just standing in the paint. So Zach Edey is one of the biggest people on the planet. He is massive. He is going to be a big problem for some teams if they can't, like, think about Team USA. Team USA, I mean, maybe they bring in Klingon. He's kind of a similar size player. He could definitely, maybe, I don't know. But, like, they don't have a guy necessarily that is going to be able to match up with that. So Zach Edey is not, first of all, he's not a bad player. I don't know why people are getting off thinking that he's like this scrub or something.
And he disproved everybody being like, oh, slow foot speed. Do you remember his combine? He tested faster than, like, other bigs, like guys like Klingon and stuff, he had better agility drills then. And it was like, can we stop it with the not even an eye test? You're just like assuming because he's a big dude. He's slow, he's useless, he's what it's like, hell, this guy's one of the best college scorers of all time. And the only thing that's really been holding him back has been injuries so far in his NBA career.
That's the thing, is that like is he going to be able to get the clearance to play for Canada? That's one thing that you got to worry about.
He was going to play last time when he got pulled, right?
Right. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
That was devastating. Him and Wiggins got pulled. Like
the Wiggins one, I don't understand. That must have been something behind the scenes. But
I mean, his head coach coaches US. So dumb.
I don't know if that's the case, but if it is, I'm gonna be pretty disappointed. But yeah, hopefully Scotty is a Jamaican or Canadian, so I don't have to cheer against him because I like him, and I would have to cheer against him if he was playing for the Evil Empire. Why don't we talk about this one? So this is very funny. So Jaylen Brown, I wanted to talk about this, and I had to find a way to talk about this on the Raptors Report podcast.
How to shoehorn it into Raptors.
So I am going to call him the reverse Grady Dick. So as you know, there is one thing that is kind of keeping Grady Dick afloat in terms of, Raptors discourse. And that is, let me see if I can just quickly duplicate this tab and then show you what his on-off splits are like. So we'll just quickly go over here.
This is a player that has multiple times and just done it again, proclaimed that he is the best two-way player in the world.
Okay, yeah. I'm just going to quickly go to Toronto so that I can show you why I'm relating it to this. So on-off net. So who doesn't belong here? So ignore Jamison Battle because Jamison Battle, like it's only 275 minutes, a small sample size. So the on-off doesn't really matter here.
Yeah.
Scotty Barnes, that makes sense. Jamal Shed, sure.
Yep.
Grady Dick.
Grady Dick right there.
Grady
ahead
Dick.
of Emmanuel quickly.
So he has insane net and on-off. Okay. Does that match the eye test?
He looks like he loses all his minutes.
He looks like he loses all of his minutes. He can't shoot.
Yeah.
The defense is interesting, I'll say, but not great.
Mm-hmm.
And then down the list quickly, Mamu, okay, Abaji, that's also kind of polar bear in Austin, Texas.
Yeah. Don't scroll
RJ
far
Barrett.
enough to show
Color
Jacoby.
Boyles and oh, look at this. All of these guys.
Just don't scroll to Jacoby, please.
Oh my God, let's scroll to Jacoby. I'm sorry. Oh my God. Wow, that's a negative 8.2. Let's see if there's anybody. So Jaylen Brown is getting MVP props from people because yes, the Boston Celtics are really kind of kicking butt and nobody expected it. And his counting stats are insane.
Yeah, right. He's having the best scoring season and nobody expected it. You lose Tatum and then he's got to step into that role. Sure. Cool.
Okay, so let's take a look. We'll just venture so I don't have to close the window. We'll just go over to Boston and see what they are like in terms of their net on-off rating. So I'll explain my theory, but oh wow, where's not Tatum. Where's Jaylen Brown? Oh, he's not in here. He's not on the top here.
Well, there must be a mistake.
Scrolling down. Oh boy. Okay, Jaylen Brown. Here he is, negative 9.6. So Jacoby, you're safe. All right, with your negative 8.2. Yeah, that's really bad on-off splits. About as bad as you can get. But I mean, this is why advanced stats, you have to actually watch the games as well.
And it's very interesting. It's not even that when he's on, it's a negative.
Yeah.
When he's on, it's a positive, but when he's off, it's a resoundingly more positive. They're like a plus 15 without him on the floor and like a plus 5 with him on the floor. So does he really get the credit for the team being that good? Or is it somebody like Derek White who's up there? Hugo Gonzalez, all these role players who have been ridiculous.
Their bench has been killing other teams' benches. That is what I mean. it makes sense kind of because their bench is just like demolishing other teams. But then you have like Jordan Walsh down here, who he's been good. But like Baylor Shireman, Derek White, Hugo Gonzalez, we're going to ignore Vucevic because it's only 99 minutes. Ron Harper, 63 minutes. But Keita, Shireman.
Sam Hauser.
Well, Hauser, yeah, he's not as high. But like the on-off splits are just like, this is just crazy. I've never seen something like this from a player who is, on a like being given MVP nods.
Yeah.
I just have never seen that. And that is why I would say that is a good counterpoint to use when somebody says like, well, Grady, his on-off numbers are really good. So that's why he's not, you shouldn't give up on him or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, well, let's take a look at this one. Jaylen Brown. Is
There's
he a bad player because he's negative?
There's a guy, a guy who's like top 8 on the MVP ladder has what is that? 10 and a half or 11 and a half lower on-off rating than Grady Dick. It's on-off is funny like that, right? So, but it is, it's a very interesting. If Brown didn't consistently try to insert his name and prop this up, I don't know why he keeps doing it. Maybe he feels like he's not getting enough attention or props, but you very rarely hear players do that because they often don't have to say, hey, I'm so good. Look at me. I'm the second best or I'm the best, whatever, right? Usually people just give it to them.
Yeah.
He, for whatever reason, feels like he needs to keep mentioning it. So it makes people go to these lengths and go, okay, well, let's look at this. Oh,
I don't want, I like when it comes to sports stars, like there's a sliding scale, of course, like when you're a boxer, you're always going to be talking yourself up. Like that is, it just goes with the territory. It's about believing your own hype so that you can get into a death match with another person and punch them in the face.
Yeah.
If you don't have the supreme belief in yourself, you're not going to be the guy shooting the last second shot with the hope that it goes in. These guys have a very high, estimation of themselves. Yeah. So I don't mind it too much. And in his defense, like he has been in the shadow of Jason Tatum for, his whole career.
Yep.
Jason Tatum has been getting all of these accolades and all of these, like he is the best player. He is the best player. Yeah. So, but like Jaylen Brown is like, he won Eastern Conference MVP.
Yep.
Then he won Finals MVP.
Yeah.
Like, are we sure he's not a better player than Jason Tatum?
I saw the argument get made that if he takes them farther or if he wins like certain thing, then he'll have a better legacy than Tatum will have at this point. It's like, I mean, the argument's starting to get there, and I totally get where he's coming from. Remember when he signed that big contract? The widespread reaction was, what a terrible overpay, right?
Yeah.
He proved that wrong. And then Tatum goes down and everybody's overreaction is the Celtics are going to tank and be bad because there's no way they could win without Tatum. And now they're second in the East, great team, all this. I would victory lap 2 if I were him. I'd be like, you guys counted me out again and I proved you wrong again. Where's the flowers? So I totally get that, right? I totally get that. I'm just suggesting that people look to disprove you when you are talking yourself up, right? So I think that the smoke that's coming with this.
Sorry, go ahead. Well, like remember when Darko threw, like he says, he is an all-star. He is future MVP.
Yeah.
Like people are like, what?
Yeah.
What the heck? But then like the discussion started, like maybe he is an all-star. Maybe like you got to get your name out there. It's like going into somebody's office and trying to, talk to the boss and telling them how great you are so that you can get the job, you got to campaign for yourself sometimes. So I don't mind it that much, but yeah, maybe it's a little grating how he's doing it, going out and propping himself up. But
hey, if nobody else is doing it, right? Like, do you remember Draymond Green's shameless DPOY campaign that he had? Like, I don't know if it was last year, or the year before, but basically he just like randomly started putting it out there like crazy, like I should be the DPOI this year. And he just kept like trying to force it. And it made people start going, wait, maybe he is. And he got a lot of votes. Like,
yeah,
it's, I get it. If nobody else is campaigning for you, campaign for yourself.
Yeah, I can see that. And like, of course, we're Canadians and we're very humble people and we respect humbleness. But I can see why, somebody like Jaylen Brown would have to go the extra length to make himself be that kind of person, put himself on the pedestal so that other people will start to consider it. Because, like, if you're like a top 30 player and you start calling yourself top 10, you're going to start some discussions. Like if you're top, like if you're like a top 200 player or something and you're saying you're top 10, everybody's going to make fun of you and say like, what the hell is wrong with this guy?
Yeah.
But if you're like in the discussion or you're just outside the discussion, you should be trying to put yourself in the discussion so that you can so that it might not be crazy to somebody else that didn't think of it before, but now has to actually consider it. So anyhow, that probably is going to do it for this week's episode. I am riding high. This is the moments before the crash because the Raptors have won 2 in a row and now they're playing the Thunder and the Spurs. So maybe we'll have a different, maybe we'll have frowns on our faces the next time we do this podcast. But right for now, I'm smiling and, looking forward to the Raptors playing some basketball and getting into that playoff hunt. Anyhow, Steve, do you have anything to add or are you ready to call it a day?
Yeah, I mean, that's about everything that we've got to cover. So yeah, that's all I got.
All right, folks. Signing off. This is Julian, Steve. It's been a pleasure. We will talk to you guys next week. Cheers.
See ya.